So alright guys, welcome back to the stream and hope everyone doing good today. So let's dive straight into the chart because Bitcoin is acting spicy right now. No chill at all. So you can see here that the price Bitcoin is we're sitting around. So you can see that the price currently, so that is 87,246 and not a huge move in last hour, but the market definitely trying to figure out where it went. So we had dip earlier in the week. You can see that. So you can see the price, you can see the chart at this moment. So let's go to the scenario. So you can see that drop all the way down near 80,650. So you can see that is the range. So you can see that is 87,200 and here is the level. So down near 80,000. So you can see here. So that is around 80,650 and since then we have slowly been clawing our way back up, not a full recovery to the 93,000 area, but the momentum is shifting. So let's break down what happened on the indicator like now. So firstly go to the indicator, so moving average ribbon. So let's see. So you can see that I'm watching MA5, MA10 and MA20. So there are squeezing together right now. Usually that's mean the market preparing for decision move. When you see the short-term MS get tight like this, it is like the chart is inhaling and about to excel in one direction. So you can see that right now. So you can see that price is dancing just above the MS, which is usually slightly bullish but not strong enough yet you call it full reversal. So let's go to the more details. So let's check another indicator who is RSI. So that is relative stand index. So let's check it. So you can see here. So if you see RSI, you can see here that RSI is sitting in the mid 50s to high 60s depending on which one you look at. So thank you so much everyone for join. Thank you for joining with us. So that means we're not overbought, not oversold. It is neutral with a small bullish tilt. And whenever RSI is in the zone, you usually want to see if momentum start pushing above 70. If it does, then when hype kick in, but for now it is more like the market is warming up. So that is the scenario for RSI. So now let's back more. So for visual, let's write it BTC. So you can see that is so making 1 hour chart. So you can see here this is BTC 1 hour chart. So you can see the scenario. So now we want to check another indicator which is also important indicator. So that is the moving average conversion. So let's check it. So what are you seeing in Mac? So you can see, so let's zoom out it. So you can see that Mac is trying to cross back into the positive zone and histogram bars are shrinking, and that means we're not overbought, not oversold, and it. So you can see here is momentum is shifting when Mac recovers from deep negative like this. We often get a trend attempt, not always successful, but definitely something to us. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you everyone who watched my live stream. Thank you so much. So let's go to the volume section and let's see what are you seeing in the volume. So you can see volume slow. That's the biggest thing holding. So Bitcoin back right now when volume is weak, breakout fell and dips don't follow through. So the last big spike was on that sell up down to 80. So you can see that sell up down to 80,000. Ever since then it has been quiet. For a real push to 90,000 and above, we need a strong volume pickup. So let's go to the more real talks. Thank you so much. And so it is like a coin. Trust for first trade next. Trust is the currency we trade in. So please join my. You can find out link in the description and win a big reward for watching my live stream. So let's go to the next scenario. So let's see. So let hear what I'm thinking and remember. So remember, this is my opinion, not financial advice. So I'm just telling you what I see. So BTC is in that classic phase where the market pullback found support and is now deciding if it run again if we keep holding about 86,000 to 87,000. So let's mark that zone. So you can see that is the zone. You can see here. $87 to 86 to 87,000 zone. It is not bad at all. The zone running. So this zone is turning into a base. You can see here. So thank you so much everyone for join. Thank you so much for join. So if we break above 88,500, so let's mark that level. So that is the zone 88,500. So let's mark. So you can see that is the zone 88,500. And remember, so that is another important thing, which is volume. Volume is important trick. And then we can start talking about push to 90,000. So then you can see 90,000 is possible from if it push 8,500. That level is possible. So from here to here, and we can go for 90,000. So that's like unlock the next level point for me. So on the downside, if BTC fails to hold above 85,000, so then another point, so here is the another point, 85,000. So note it failed to hold 85,000. We might retest the lower zone again, not a guaranteed crash or anything, just more slide open. So then we can go in downside scenario. So yeah fam, that's what the chart is giving right now. Nothing too crazy, but also not very strong. We're basically in that middle zone where smart money accumulate quietly. So don't expect fireworks yet, but Bitcoin usually moves hardest right where people get bored. So you can see here I will be watching at 88,500. So you can see 88,500, and that works like resistance, like a hawk. And if we break that with volume, step in. If we don't, then yeah, we are probably just hanging for a bit longer. So stick around, we're gonna check a few more indicator and maybe some alt setup later. So don't go anywhere. So you can see that is the current scenario for BTC. So let's go to the KuCoin homepage. You can see, so that is the hot list. You can see here. So you can find this Bitcoin is currently trading at 7,147. So that is the price. Bitcoin is currently trading, and you can see that Ethereum is currently trading. So that is around 2,853. So that is the price Ethereum is currently trading, and you can see here that is 0.92% increasing in last 24 hours. So now let's go with Ethereum. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you. So let's go with Ethereum. So let's go to Ethereum and talk about this. So right now Ethereum is sitting around 2,865, and you can see that is roughly 2.5% on that day. So it is not a moon mission or anything, but considering how the chart looked a few days ago, you can see. So this is not bad at all. So we had that dip earlier around 2,621. So you can find it 2,600. So that is the level 2,621. So that is the level. And back then it looked like Ethereum was about to done, but look at it now, and that is slowly climbing, trying to stabilize, and Kedna showing that I'm not dead yet. So let's check the indicator. So let's go to the indicator like moving average, convergence divergence, or moving average exponential and moving average ribbon. Firstly we go to moving average ribbon. So you can see that is mainly these three lines, MA10, MA5, MA10, and MA13. So these three are all starting to flatten out. They are not pointing down aggressively anymore, and when MA stop trending downward after a long drop, that usually the first sign that sellers are getting tired. So you can see that price is dancing around MS right now, and that actually good things. It shows Ethereum is So you can see that Ethereum is trying to build a base. It is like Ethereum is trying to stand back up, that getting pushed in the face all week. So if we see price close slightly above M at 30, that's when things start turning more bullish. Not confirm reversal, but definitely a sign. So now let's check another indicator. So let's see. So let's go to the parabolic SR. So what are you seeing in the parabolic SR part? So let's check it. So you can see that the SR dots flip a while ago, and right now they are below the candle. That's generally bullish. And when SR switch side after a, so that is strong downside downtrend, and that is usually the market saying alright, and break time. No guaranteed, but good sign. So now let's check another indicator, which is MAC. So let's go with MAC. Let's go with MAC. So you can see here. So MAC is looking higher to now than earlier this week, and the lines are crossing upward, and the histogram ranking on the downside and momentum shifting up. You can see all the scenario, and whenever MAC start curling like this after a long drop, the market usually tries to push a recovery wave. So does it always succeed? No, but this is how reversal start. So now let's check another indicator. So which is KDJ. So let's check that KDJ indicator. So you can see here that so KDJ is sitting in the upper zone, not overbought, but definitely showing stance. And you can see here the K line, D line, and J lines are spreading upward, which shows Ethereum has short-term moment. And when KDJ look like this, usually Ethereum makes small pushes upward, pull back a bit, then tries again. So let's go back with another indicator, which is RSI. So let's go with RSI. So RSI means relative strength index. So you can see here. So RSI you can see here. that is in 65, so that is around mid 60s. So that actually a sweet spot, not overbought, not weak. It is like Ethereum is warming up before a workout. So when RSI sits around 60 and keep climbing slowly, that's open when breakout form. So now I want to check another indicator which is OBB. So let's check. So what are you seeing here? So you can see OBV. So you can see that still look weak overall. That's one thing holding Ethereum back, buyers stepping in but not aggressively. So the price is going up but the volume is not pushed hard yet. So this tells me Ethereum is recovering but not everyone is confident enough to appear in it. So let's talk about future our outlook. So let's talk. So you can see here Ethereum look likes it has founded its local bottom. So you can see. So let's mark that bottom area. So that is 2622 to 2650. So that is the bottom area. And so that is around 2622 2650, and every time it dips at that area and buyers jump in, that strong support. But the real move depends on whether Ethereum can break above 2900 to 2000, around 2920. So that is the zone. So you can see that is the zone 2920. So that is the resistance level. So you can see that is the resistance level currently hitting. So that is the resistance level shocking it right now. So if Ethereum breaks above this level 2000, so you can see that it breaks resistance level break 2000s, that is around 2900 with volume. So you should also see indicator like volume, so that is also important indicator. So then if happens, and then we can see, so then we can see that we go to the 3000s level. So that is possible from this. So 3000 level is possible if break 2900 with real volume, so that's important. So then we hit this area, so that is possible. So you can see that market sentiment, so you can see here that market sentiment flip bullish, more traders join the move, especially short covering. So thank you so much everyone for join. Thank you so much. Thank you so much everyone who joined my live stream. Thank you so much for join. So if more traders join the move, especially short covering, so then another side of the market. So let's talk about this side. So let's see. So if we see that the level, so if it is fails, and so that is at this moment 3000 possible, but another part of the market, so if stay this level, then we can see that side back to this level, so that is 2760. So that is still possible. So you can see here that good volume, but that is that I say another part of the slide back. So from this level slide back is possible. So slide back possibles, that is around 2762. So 2762, 2078, and you can see buyer step in from 2760 level, so that is important. So our odd case, so if we see more odds bad case, so that is C 2650 zone is possible to go here, that is around 2650. So if that is not possible from that level, so the market right now is that slow recovery phase, not hype mode yet, but definitely building energy, and Ethereum look like it is getting ready for something, not today maybe, but soon. So now we want to go for XRP. So you can see here XRP is currently trading, so that is 2.18, so that is the price XRP is currently trading, and you can see here that is 6.31% increasing in last 24 hours. So that is the last 24-hour change. So let's back to the Ethereum. So you can see that is Ethereum market scenario. So now let's go to the XRP. So you can see this is the XRP scenario. So XRP, you can see the chart look more energetic, and then it did last few days. XRP finally wake up today. It is up around 6%, and that is currently chilling at 2.18. And honestly, this move was not looking obviously earlier in the week. So let's mark that the deep point. So you can see here. So that is around 1.81. So you can see. So that is all way down to 1.84. Total panic zone, but look XRP at this moment. So it pushing strong candles and showing some confidence again. So let's go through the chart and see. What the indicator are saying. So let's check. Firstly, go to the moving average ribbon. So I'm noticing that all three of these EMA are turning bullish. EMA 5 and EMA 10 above, and that is crosses above EMA 30. You can see this, and that usually first sign that we are entering a short term uptrend. So XRP has not pulled off a clean EMA crossover in a while, so this is worth nothing. And if price is trading about all way of EMS right now, which is always a good sign. When XRP start climbing above the short-term and mid-term average, it usually tries to run a bit higher. So, and this is basically XRP saying, I'm tired falling, let me breathe and climb a little. So that is the basic scenario of EMA moving average. So now let's check that another indicator, which is parabolic SR. So SR flip bullish, you can see dots are beneath the price candle. So this is usually a momentum confirmation. that XRP might continue push upwards, especially if buyers keeps stepping in like they're doing right now. So whenever a share flips after a big downtrend, it is often the beginning of a trend reversal or at least a strong recovery wave. So now let's check another indicator which is max. So let's check it. Moving average convergence divergence. So let's check it. So we can see that MAC looks surface. So we can see here that MAC looks good right now, and you can see here that the line are crossing upward. Histogram is shifting to the bulls, and you can see that if the histogram flips positive in the next few candles, you can see next. So XRP can easily make another push to 2.20, so that is possible, to 2.225, so that is still possible from this level. So that's momentum is not huge, but it is definitely building. So now we want to go back to another indicator. So, and this is the KDJ indicator. So what are you seeing in the KDJ? So the KDJ is that high zone, and you can see that KA around 81, and you can see D around 66, and you can see that J slightly above 112. So this shows XRP has strong upward momentum, and that build it is approaching on area where short-term bulls can happen. But let's be real, XRP always has dramatic KTG spike run during rallies, and as long as KTG does not collapse downward, the term is still healthy. So now let's go back to the another indicator. So let's go back. So now let's go back to the RSI, relative strength index. So you can see that RSI is so around, that is the big zone, so that is around on 85 on the shortest setting, and around 74 on the mid setting. That's high, no sugar coating, and you can see here that XRP is getting closer to overbought territory. So but remember, overbought does not means it has to dump, and overbought sometimes mean that momentum is strong and people are chasing the move, and XRP tends to stay overbought for a while when it is pump mode. So don't panic, just RSI is high, it is part of the ride. So let's check another indicator, so that is unbalanced volume. So you can see that OBV, so that is on volume pressure. So this is the most interesting part, and OBV absolutely tanked during earlier drop, but now it is curling back upwards. So that means buyers are coming in, not just price bouncing. So you can see that volume backing the move, and that's it, that stronger rally. So you can see, so if OBB continues climbing, and it would not be surprised if XRP tries to push above 2.25 or even 2.30 in short term. So here how see it. So XRP hit a strong bottom, so that is the 1.81, and now it is making a clean recovery, and you can see here that so indicators are lining up bullish and volume is stepping in, and you can also see that MS are flipping, all sign point to continuation move if XRP hold above that 2.10 zone. So that zone is very crucial. So you can see all this zone is very crucial. So then next possible scenario, so you can see that is 2.20. So if it hits with strong volume, then go to the another zone, so that is 2.25. So then next target 2.25. So then 2.25 is possible. So let's mark that zone. So here is the zone, and the zone between. So this is the zone between 2 point. So let's write it. So that is between 2.20 to 2.25. So that is the zone, and then it is still possible to go 2.30, so that is still possible. So let's mark that possible zone. So here is the possible zone. So that is 2.252, 2.30, that is possible. So it is possible from this zone. So then if XRP breaks its 2.25 with strong volume, so we might even see run toward, so that's around 2.35. So let's mark that zone. That is still possible from this zone. So that is the zone. So that is 2.302, 2.35. So that should be possible to 2.30 to 2. So 2.35 is possible. So that is not granted, but it is still possible. So bearish scenario. So let's find the scenario. So pull back toward. So let's mark that zone. So that is so that is possible. So if we see that pullback to 2.072, 2.10. So if we see this, so and we see the retest area, so then we can have a chance to see retrace area. So you can see here is the retrace area. So that is the retrace area, so that is around, that is 2.00. So that is possible, but as long as it stays above 2 that structure stays bullish. But XRP look like it is in recovery mode, not just random pop candle. So yeah fam, XRP showing sub live again, and after getting hammered for days it finally found its bottom, flip the image, and now buyers are actually stepping in. So thank you so much. That's for today. See you in next session. Thank you, everyone.